How we doing, everybody? It's Wednesday now. It's time for the Ravori Sports podcast. Thank you very much for joining us here for all of our social media content here. So we want to thank all of you for checking us out here every Wednesday night. Numbers are growing here. All of you are more of you are watching as well. So thank you. Definitely this week. See, Charles Harris, we are LegalShield.com. So definitely Legal Shield is my Legal Shield business. Definitely, if you are a small business owner, you really could be saving a lot of money with Legal Shield. So definitely check that out. Definitely, Legal Shield is a great resource for you. You have all small business needs. You need to collect money. You need legal assistance instantly. You definitely need to do that. Maryland men's basketball is on October 26th. So definitely we're going to do that as well. We're going to have a video. There's a whole new group of terms. Nobody was there. The Crab Five, as good as that was, new coach, new head coach, new coaching staff, new athletic director. There's a whole new group of names that we're going to learn about. Whole new starting five. Buzz Williams, I think, has a good team too. So, but it's brand new. So this is the new college basketball. We're definitely going to talk about that as well. Also, to check us out, Genesis Notary Services. If you are in Winchester, Virginia, if you know, you know. So if you are in Genesis Notary Services in Winchester, Virginia area, definitely our notary business. Definitely check us out if you need anything. If you need help with real estate or legal documents or anything else like that, we're absolutely happy to go ahead and get that squared away for you. And Ravori Sports, that company, that site, check out our links on Fanatics. Definitely check that out as well. And you see all of those now at the bottom of the screen. I actually have the sound on this week, like we're supposed to. They actually have Genesis Notary Services is there, but all of our social media links, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Rumble, Spotify, all those broadcasts, we rebroadcast this on a lot of those platforms after this one is over, and also on the Driving to the Top Productions, which is now in the corner as well. And we're going to have instant reaction after every Ravens game. We might do a little, well, I won't say it because I might not, but definitely got to fight this weekend, may do something with that. We'll see. All right, so let's get down to business. Yes, we're going to talk about a football game on Sunday night because that's why we're here, right? The NFL, Sunday Night Football. It was a tremendous game from, if you weren't a Ravens fan, obviously. So I think a lot of people I heard say these are the two best teams in the National Football League, and I have no problem with that. But the Sunday night game, we just saw it, and you see the score there, 41-40. Bills miraculously pulled out. Ravens did a good job in this one of pulling defeat out of the jaws of victory. Like in this one, there's just no other way to say it. Let's go over the stat sheet here. I don't want to hear anybody say the loss is game because of Lamar. There's no such animal. Lamar was terrific in this game. I thought the line was subpar against a good Buffalo defense as well. And I do think Lamar was great in this. Not a huge day passing wise, but you see it, 14 for 19, 209 yards, 2 TDs, 70 rushing yards. One rush was unbelievable. Two guys were chasing him, should have been sacked. He real Houdini act to go ahead and get away from that, getting a long run with that, getting a TD run also in the game. Lamar was terrific. But one of the best games, I'm going to say it, I think maybe one of the best games he ever played in a loss. Derrick Henry, incredible on the ground. Ravens had over 200 yards rushing on the ground. Derrick Henry, 18 for 169, 2 TDs. Obviously, we know the costly fumble late in the game. Derrick Henry never fumbles. They say he fumbled last year in Pittsburgh. I almost don't even remember that. I haven't seen it often where Derrick Henry has fumbled. But they stacked that box. He had 10 in the box when he ran that football. So they really, really, really pounded him in and ran the football 10 in the box to go ahead and do that as well. So definitely Henry, interesting. I'm kind of leaning toward he's entitled to one, like as great as he's been for it. Zay Flowers is like leading the NFL in receptions and receiving yards. 7 receptions, 143, 2 huge catches. I think that got the Ravens in the end zone as well. Really has emerged as their number one guy as far as receiver. We waited for so many years to get a number one receivers. He's just so quick. He's a good route runner too. He's not tall. That's the only knock on his game. Not really tall, but he really separates very well, runs past people as well. Strong on the line of scrimmage as well. He's not a guy where you can really, even though he's not a real big, tall receiver, you can't really push him off the line of scrimmage very well. He does very good with that. Outstanding. Some mixed opinion on Roquan's performance. I thought Roquan was decent as well. He did. I think people are saying that because he had the one missed tackle in this one that was bad, like where he was trying to swipe the ball out. And I think it was James Cook. He was able to go ahead, run up the field, and after he missed the tackle, so that wasn't good. But Roquan was fine. I think Roquan had 10 tackles. I think that's what you want from him. Defense overall, it was good for 3+ quarters. You are playing an outstanding quarterback, outstanding offense as well. The stats, I think, are a little misleading. It's not as bad as it looked, but that fourth quarter was a misleading. Right? So that's the stats, and that's the stat line that you deserve because you didn't handle business in the fourth quarter at all. Josh Allen was terrific. A lot of it was late in the fourth quarter, over 200 yards passing in the final minutes, which was wild. 394, 2 TDs, 33 for 46. Much better protected than Baltimore was in this football game. It certainly was. The stat line, I watched it on Nightcap, and Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson were talking about this. So Josh Allen had 46 passes. He was sacked 1 time during the game by Justin Matabuke. And Lamar Jackson, you just saw it. He had 19 passes. He was sacked 2 different times. He had pressure all night long, and he should have had a third if he hadn't gotten away with the great Houdini act and was able to get away physically. So the Buffalo Bills line compared to what the Ravens are putting out, it's a big difference as well. They didn't really run the ball that much in this one. Some of that was the Ravens had a lead in a lot of this game. James Cook, 13 carries for 44 yards as well. Josh Allen didn't have a big night running the ball. Keon Coleman's getting better right before us. The Shakir's their number one guy. They did go get Jordan Palmer, but he had 8 receptions, 122. He's who they were going to in the key situations, and he's kind of their guy, I think, from what I can see, catches in traffic, catches with defenders on them as well. So I thought Coleman was good. I gotta say, Ravens secondary did play well late. Some of that was the prevent defense that prevents you from winning, but they didn't. That's not good enough. That's not going to work. That secondary wasn't good enough. Buffalo does have some good receivers as well, but that didn't work for me in the second half. Ed Oliver, 6 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 1 sack. Let's talk about Oliver first because he's fantastic. I think Ed Oliver is very, very underrated around the league. Every time I see Ed Oliver, he's causing havoc. He's very consistent. He's not a fabulous pass rusher, particularly, but I think he was good in this game. But I don't think that's kind of why I think he gets overlooked. Ed Oliver is an outstanding defensive tackle. Now, all that being said, Filele was horrible. Like, I don't know what to say. Ed Oliver was doing the same thing Chris Jones was doing, same thing Max Crosby was doing, just picking him out on the offensive line and just pushing him over as well. You have to consider making a change at right guard. I've been saying this I don't know why people are just like waking up to this. Filele has been struggling. And one other thing on Filele here, so talking about that, but I'm going to say this. I said this before the game. Why I thought this before the game. Pat Ricard missed this game with a calf injury. And I said that's going to factor in because that's what they were doing to mask the Falele issues. You had Ricard over there on his side when you need to run over on his side to go ahead and help him. They didn't have Ricard in this game. They didn't have Isaiah Likely in this game. They kind of had Kolar and Andrews blocking more. It kind of took away. You got to consider somebody else. You got to consider somebody else in this as well. So there is the bad news final, 41-40 as well. So Ravens over the Bills. Look, you snatch defeat. You snatched away. How do you say it? The old Wild World of Sports trope, the agony of defeat. That's what that was. You're a better football team. You have better personnel. You played better for 3 quarters. You were executing your game plan, and somehow you find a way to lose a game. I mentioned last night in the open mic, I thought about the Browns in the 1980s, 87, 88. 2 of the best teams nobody ever talks about. They almost went to the AFC. They went to the AFC Championship game 2 different years. Nearly went to the Super Bowl 1 year. You go ahead. They lose. Ernest Biner on the 1-yard line fumbles. Broncos actually win. Go back next year. They go get the same scenario. They go back to the AFC Championship game. John Elway drives down and gets it squared away and actually wins. I may be mixing the years up, but I think those were the 2 events there as well. I will say this is what you're trending towards if you're the Ravens. When you're in games like this, you're trending towards losing these games because you're not finishing the job. Close it down. Close it down. Finish the jobs. Stop being so conservative. All the fire Harbaugh, they're not going to fire Harbaugh. I can tell you this. I totally understand the fans on this because he is the common denominator. We've seen this with John Harbaugh now the last couple of years with him getting conservative late in games and the team to the point where the team comes all the way back and you're looking at a loss. So there you go. Ravens 41, Bills 41, Bills 40. We got a game. The home opener is this week. So we got the Ravens and the Browns in the home opener this week.
You don't need to do your face. You need to do your body too.
Get that cord in a second. But the Ravens and the Browns in the home opener this week. So we'll go ahead and check that out. So this is Joe Flacco, our guy, Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Ravens. The last time Ravens won the Super Bowl, Joe Flacco was the quarterback at the helm. He is starting for the Browns. I believe this is his first time starting in Baltimore since he left. That's what the numbers is for him for the season. 290 as far as passing, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. That 2 interceptions is misleading. One of them was just totally not his fault. Ball bounced out the hand of the guy, and then the ball bounced out. The defender caught it, etc. So Flacco, I thought overall was decent enough week 1, especially going against Joe Burrow. But I think that was the thing that happened. They didn't really run the ball well. Jerome Ford is kind of their main guy, should be the main guy. They're still waiting on Quinshawn Jenkins, who signed finally from Ohio State, but not ready to go yet. Ford is going to be their starter. Nick Chubb is gone, so he's going to go ahead and start for them. He only had 8 yards last week. Number 1 receiver is Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy, 5 receptions, 66 yards in the game. So this is their main weapon. They do not have a great, in my opinion, receiving core. I think they prefer to run the ball. They like to get one of their running backs going, etc. In this one. But Jeudy is kind of their main guy. You should see a lot of Nate Wiggins and Jair Alexander on him in that one. So we'll go ahead and check that out. And obviously, if he's not the best defender in the league, I don't know if he wins Defensive Player of the Year this year, but certainly there's not really a debate if Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the NFL. He's one of the best, if he's not the best defensive player in the NFL. Myles Garrett gives the Ravens fits. I'm terrified what they're going to do if you keep playing Falele again. I'm trying to get off him, but that was just so bad as well. So they're going to have to figure out Myles Garrett if you're going to win. This is probably your biggest concern. Lamar, we saw it, 209, 2 TDs, 70 yards, 1 TD rush. Lamar was great. I thought Lamar was outstanding in the first game as well. 70 yards rushing, 1 TD rushing as well. So that was terrific for Lamar. Derrick Henry, 18 carries, 169, 2 TDs as well. So they ran the ball well. They're going to run the ball. The Ravens are not going to have any problems running the football with Derrick Henry back there. Once again, the stat here you want to pick out, 18 carries and not 20. Whenever he gets 20 carries, they win. Every time. He got 18 carries. Also, too, interesting, no Keaton Mitchell in the last game. You saw Ali. I don't know why you're carrying four anyway, but they're carrying 4 backs. I thought it was interesting that they went with Keaton Mitchell. They went with Rashawn Ali, probably because of the kickoff return and the special teams, and they just didn't have as big a role for Keaton Mitchell. You got to use Keaton Mitchell to run the football. But this game, for sure, you want to go ahead and run the football. Zay Flowers, I thought, is one of the leaders in the entire NFL in receiving yards. They've got their alpha in there as far as your receivers go. Definitely the best on the field. Roquan, again, mixed opinions on how he played. I thought he was fine. I think he missed that tackle. That was terrible. But Roquan, I think also to the other linebacker situation is starting to, Trent Simpson had some issues in that. They did have a lot of Teddy Buchanan in there as well. Malachi Starks, although he's been solid, he's a rookie. I think some of that is factoring into the perception of, okay, well, he's been having some issues as well. X Factor in this one. Pat Ricard, I don't know if you'll have him. They have to have him. Just Myles Garrett. I'm telling you, that factors in. I won't go into it again, but that factors in. I'm not sure he's going to have him in the calf injury. He did miss practice today, along with Matabuke as well. But the run game, they definitely missed Project Pat in this last game as well. And we just talked about Roquan. Trent Simpson, terrible, awful mistake that he made. And this one, just give him 20 yards, downing the ball in special teams. Trenton can't seem to put it together in a consistent basis. I see, like, with him, he'll step forward 2 steps, and then he'll step back 2 steps. And then I kind of see that with Trenton a little bit. He kind of is a little bit forward, and he'll go back a little bit here. So like to see a little bit more consistency with Trent Simpson as well in this one. I do think Ravens do win this football game pretty handily, though. I think they win it by 2 touchdowns. If I was going to put a score, it'd be like 21-7 or something. I'm pretty sure with Joe Flacco, especially, they're not going to pass for a lot of yards. I think this is the opportunity to kind of look in this opportunity where they're not going to get torched with 300-plus yards in the air as well. Secondary, Jairus Allen didn't look right, though. I will say that. Jairus Allen, he didn't look right. So I definitely think that's a thing as well. There's definitely depth in the secondary, Rouzier, et cetera, like that, but more concerned about that Jair Alexander. As the Ravens and the Browns go ahead and get down for the home opener in M&T Bank Sunday at 1 o'clock. There you go. All right. So Ravens and Browns try to play like that. The loser will be in last place because the Ravens actually did lose last week. Browns lost last week, also in division. So this would be 2 division losses for the team to lose. So the Ravens definitely don't want to be on that end of it here as well. All right, we're back. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and go over it as well. And so obviously Ravens this week playing the Browns, and you're going to hear this because I'm going to play it. CBS has the game at 1:00, so definitely check that out. All right. Next segment, Big Five. 5 biggest games on the schedule that were not Raven games. So definitely go ahead and let's go ahead and get that squared away as well. Last week, Big Five. So we had a couple games on the schedule. So we had Dallas. Everybody's kind of going crazy over how Dallas looked in this game. Dallas, I thought was okay. I don't think they're as bad as the chaos around them. That's my big concern with Dallas, that Jerry Jones and all his foolishness is just going to cause them a whole lot of problems. But they are a decent enough football team. So I'm not surprised they were able to hang with Philadelphia. The Chargers and the Chefs, I don't think that was an upset. I think I saw that a lot, that it was an upset. I mean, obviously, in previous years, that's the way it goes, but I think the Chargers have the better football team. So that kind of went pretty much exactly the way I thought it would go. Uh, Texans and the Rams, defensive battle. CJ Stroud struggles on the road. He does not score points on the road. He definitely has problems with that. Rams have a good defense. It's got to start winning games like that, in my opinion. Also to Steelers and the Jets. That was as good as I've ever seen Justin Fields look in a football game. Fields really played well. It wasn't enough. I wasn't as impressed with Aaron Rodgers as some people were, but he looked decent enough. They won the game, obviously, but I think decent enough for Aaron. So I think I can't get too mad about that. I mean, the way Aaron looks in that one as well. So that was last week's Big Five.
What?
Sorry about that. All right, now we're ready to go. So, all right, this week. So we got games this week as well. So let's go ahead and get that squared away. Commanders and the Packers as well. Oh, forgot last week Packers. Speaking of the Packers last week, let's just do it all right here. Packers and the Lions. Watch that game. Lions, I think people are being a little bit hyperbolic with the Lions. Lions are still pretty good. The line is a concern. Goff needs that good line. He doesn't have the mobility as well. Packers look good. I mean, I don't think there's any question about it. I think you're overcooking the grits with having them be the best team in the league already. Because I still have some concerns on the offense, but they look good. I think also, too, now we'll move to this week. This game, Packers, I think, do beat the Commanders at home. I think the defense of the Packers is really good with Micah Parsons. I think they still don't really know yet how to use him. He's going to be a guy now. Now you have a guy that's going to chase down Jaden Daniels and have a dynamic and things like that, where I thought their defense was just pedestrian or decent in the category. We'll see. This might be also Green Bay, the best offensive line in the league. So I think their offensive line was very, very, very impressive. Commanders won week one. They won, but I think I don't know how much we could tell with Russell Wilson in now at this point. I mean, Russell's just not the same guy anymore. I mean, we know this. I mean, the coach barely committed to that. Tough road game, short week. I like the Packers over the Commanders in this one. Eagles and Chefs in this one. I think Arrowhead is probably the main thing here. Is Arrowhead, I think, is still the toughest home field in the National Football League. One of them. I mean, either that or Mile High. It's or Lambeau. Those are the toughest places to go in considering. I still don't know if that's enough if they're going to beat Philly, though. Philly is still really good. Some people are a little down on them because Dallas is not that bad. Division game as well. I don't see how any way that offensive line in Kansas City does anything with that Philly defense. Those guys, I don't think they're going to have Jalen Carter because this guy wants to spit on people before the game starts. So that's an issue, but I do still like the Eagles defense in this one. Chef's got offense, got problems. I think they're going to play keep away and actually, so I do like them over the Chefs. Two young quarterbacks in this one. The Falcons, I think, on the J.J. McCarthy-led Vikings. Falcons nearly made the playoffs, came in second in the NFC South, and the Vikings are winners last week. Won a lot of games last year. Won on Monday night as well. I gotta go with the Vikings here. I'm still not a McCarthy buyer. What I saw in that game kind of sums up what I saw with McCarthy in Michigan. Kind of okay for 3 quarters, not so good, pick 6, whatever. And in the fourth quarter, he was fantastic. He brought him back as well. Penix, I think that everything is solid. I just don't think there's enough around him, and he's not at the level where he can elevate a team like that in a tough road game. I think I would say this. The roster of the Vikings is a real thing. I think they can, against a Falcons team still looking for its identity, they should be able to win this game. I know pretty much what I'm getting from the Vikings. I just don't know how good McCarthy is. But I'm still going to go with the Vikings in this one. The Seahawks and the Squealers as well. First home game for the Squealers. Seattle, they're another one last week. They pulled defeat out of the jaws of victory against the 49ers. I'm still not done with Seattle. I don't think they win this game, though. I don't think they have enough offense yet. Darnold, I think, has historically struggled in Pittsburgh, going against Pittsburgh defenses as well. I don't think this is a great matchup for him. That's probably my concern with them. Like, how much are they going to score? How much are they going to score? Can Darnold actually kind of flip the page a bit and become better offensively and bring them better offensively? Because I know they're going to be good on defense. I know that. With Mike McDonald and Leonard Williams and a lot of the guys they got, they're going to be good on defense. I don't think it's enough for the Steelers defense. Aaron looked okay week one. I'm not gushing over it, although he was solid, but Aaron looked okay. I think Aaron has been okay the last few years. Not the same player he was, but Aaron was solid. I like the Squealers in this one. Bucks and the Texans as well. Two teams, I think, offensively that are better offensively than they shown week one. I do think the Texans at home actually pulled this out. They are, I think, a better offensive team overall. Stroud, he doesn't play well on the road. Just doesn't play well on the road. And I think that's an issue for them. So I think Stroud has got to play better on the road as well. But he's at home in this one. I think I do like the Texans in this one. Texans, I think, are going to be factors in the AFC. Bucks, I think, are going to be factors in the NFC. I think they're going to score. I do kind of anticipate this one being high scoring. I will say this also, too, about week one as a whole. The scoring was higher than I thought. Like, we've seen September teams kind of getting together, defenses are ahead of the offenses, whatever. It's a lot of points for week one. That's a good sign. So let's see if that keeps going here as well. There you go. So there it is right there. The Ravens, 5 biggest games that are not Ravens. So definitely enjoy all the games on all the platforms. Amazon, that's how it is nowadays, not just 2-3 channels. Amazon, ESPN, etc. All the platforms that are showing Monday Night Football and all these games this week. So definitely be happy to go check that out. College football last Friday night. So the game is Friday night. I had all 3 games on at the same time. So we had the Chefs and the Chargers on YouTube. We had Big Ten Network on as well. Maryland, this game, Northern Illinois, in the outstanding Orioles game that was going on. So that was fantastic as well. So this was good. I thought, as far as that, you got to be encouraged so far by the Terps. And when I saw Friday night, Malik Washington looks pretty good. Now, again, he has not yet went into played a Big Ten team. We're all waiting for that. They're playing teams at home on their same level and all that, etc. I know that. But so far, the way he's looked poised. I thought he was solid from start to finish in this one as well. Receivers, if anything, receivers got to help him out a little bit more as well. Scruggs has kind of become not Scruggs, that's the defensive guy on the main guy, but Jared Farouk and all that, etc., haven't really stepped up. Octavian Smith still kind of waiting on that a little bit. So I think there are some issues, I think, there as well. But he's really looked good. I tell you what, Daniel Wingate on the other side has looked phenomenal, like on defense. That guy's super impressive. He's super impressive week one. He had like 13 or 14 tackles in this game. So I thought that was really aided. It was aided. Northern Illinois really couldn't throw the football. Not really. So like they had a little, so I think that was helpful as well. But they won it. Win is a win. Not as impressive maybe as you hoped. Obviously, you're playing a team at the level of Northern Illinois. But the 2-0 will take it. And the Terps obviously are going to play this week against a school. Some of y'all don't know, near and dear to my heart. It was near to dear. It was really very close to where I live. Would pass Towson State every day, what the old heads call Towson State University, right? So Towson was there. They're going to be playing in Towson. this for sure is going to be a large score game. I suspect Malik Washington will be out the game early. You'll see Justin Smith, who was actually injured himself, maybe. Whoever the backup, you'll see those guys in. A lot of those guys come out early, and they'll go to 3-0 against the team here. And then the real business will about to start here. So that game is Saturday at 12 o'clock. Towson and Maryland. Definitely check that out. The week after, super interesting when we go against possibly, if he's healthy to play, Billy Edwards, last year's quarterback at Wisconsin. All right. So let's go ahead and really dive into some more baseball here as well tonight as well. Also, too, I am aware of what happened today. Assassination of Charlie Kirk. We had a death of a schoolboy. We've had a lot of bad stuff going on. So, and only thing I really have to say about any of that is, like, we hope that just us talking football with you tonight and baseball and sports and all that is a distraction for you as well with all the stuff that's going on. That's what we want to do. That's what I've always done. Look at these games, look at sports, and it's always helped me. So we're hoping tonight we can help some of you guys out with everything that's going on out there. All right. So MLB Tiers. Next week, we're going to deep dive a little bit more into contenders, but we're going to talk about all the teams tonight as well as we talk about who are the tiers in the MLB, who are the best teams, who are the worst teams, who are the teams that go into the World Series, who's going out, etc. Deep dive the contenders a little bit more this week, but here's our tiers. So we've been doing this for last couple of years. 6, we break the tiers into teams of 6. So who's elite, who is poor, who's etc., who has a shot, etc. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go over it. Now, the tiers, and I just want to say this is not rankings in terms of when I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in terms of, where I think they sit in all cases, right? I just number them and put them in there. I don't have necessarily, this isn't 1, 2, 3. So you see that. That doesn't mean I think that or they're higher or lower et cetera. So, all right. So, number 1 at the top here, the Tigers. Clearly, the Tigers have the best pitcher. I think one of them in all of baseball. Certainly, he's in that conversation as far as that goes, as far as being the best pitcher in all of baseball. They have more wins, I think, than everybody except Milwaukee and Philly. This team is really good. I think the pitching is what it is. They're going to pitch well and do well. I don't think there's any question about the Tigers are elite. Definitely with that rotation, it's fantastic. Yes, the Blue Jays are here. The Blue Jays, I think, was probably one of the takes I got really wrong at the beginning. I really thought the Blue Jays would really kind of fall apart, kind of be selling off guys, et cetera. But that definitely has not happened. They have really – the guys who have needed to play well for them have played well for them. Vladdy obviously has good rear. Bichette has kind of had a resurgence. The rotation has been really good. Hoffman is even now kind of coming around in the bullpen, etc. So I do think the Blue Jays are right there. They're definitely, I think they win the AL East. I don't think the Yankees catch them, but I definitely think the Blue Jays are right there. Their offense as a whole is kind of concerning. That's the only kind of knock I have on the Blue Jays as well. And it's been a while since they've been in this position. So we'll see. They're a team that hasn't been there very often. Dodgers, yes, I still have Dodgers. Dodgers, I kind of said this on drive. I kind of said this on the open mic last night, especially watching the Dodgers, kind of how I felt about the Dodgers here. They're going to score runs. There's no questions about it. Shohei's still there. Freddie Freeman is still there. Mookie Betts, I think, is starting to come around. They're getting Will Smith back. They're getting Muncy back. They're going to score. They're going to score runs. The defense, I kind of agree with that the defense isn't great. So, but I don't think you can win a World Series without great when you have offense like this. Starting pitching is good. I mean, I think so. That's it. The bullpen is not going to work Like if you want to win the whole thing, they got to have something. But the thing is, I still kind of a believer. The personnel is still there. They're struggling though, but we'll see. And plus, they have so many starters. Maybe one of them will emerge out of the bullpen as well. But the Dodgers, I'm still leaving them up there. I don't think a lot of teams going to beat the Dodgers. Brewers have been the best team in the American in all of baseball so far this year. Pat Murphy's done a sensational job with the Brewers. I don't think anybody in that division certainly is going to be better than the Brewers. They've really moved away from the Cubs. Best record in all of baseball. If there is a team to win 100 games, it's going to be in Milwaukee. I don't know if you get another team to do it. Brewers have been fantastic. I think they're good in all phases. Their pitching staff is good. They can hit for power as well. They're good, really good. Phillies are almost as good. The Phillies, I think, can still win it. I think so. They've had some issues with injuries with pitching that kind of gives me a little bit of pause as well. And that's me saying that about the Phillies as well. Wheeler or some guy. It hasn't been as strong as it's been, even though it's been strong. But, like, I think you got to consider Schwarber for MVP. So we'll see about that. But I definitely think they're right there. And I'm still leaving the Yankees there. Still leaving the Yankees there in the category. If you got Judge and you got Fried, I think you got a shot. I definitely think. I don't know if it's enough to win the whole thing, but certainly the question is contender. They're definitely a contender with that. So definitely, I definitely think they're going to get in for sure and be and make a run at it. Cubs, good category. Cubs, Astros, Red Sox, Padres, Mets, Mariners. I kind of feel like the Cubs should be better. They're still pretty good though. I think definitely. I just don't think they're as good as the Brewers, which has been the best team in the league. So I think had it not been for that, we'd be saying that as well. Offensively, at times, I'm just not impressed with Chicago. At times, they just look like they have these funks where they don't. I don't know why, but it's kind of a Cub thing where you can't score runs consistently. The pitching in the bullpen, I think, is good enough as well. Not great, but good enough. But I think that's enough there. But you got Kyle Tucker and all these guys. They should be really, really good on offense. And at times, I just don't always see it. But they're definitely in contention. The fact that the Astros are still in contention, I think that's incredible, like considering that. They are winning the AL West right now. I'd have never predicted that as well as how strong as they have been at the beginning of the season. Altuve is still going. Some of their pitching is still going as well. They just know how to win. They just know how to win. I think that's simplistic, but I think that's just the Astros in general. They got their guy back, Correa. I think the Astros are right there in contention as well. Red Sox have a pretty good team. It's funny. You almost thought they were throwing the right flag in with the trade of Devers, but what they've gotten back is I think they've worked pretty well. Durant, I think they're looking to him going ahead and being their number one guy going forward. As far as in the future as well, Bregman's had a good year for them as well. I tell you what, Aroldis Chapman has been a phenomenal story as well. He's really been good for them. I think that's a thing. They've actually got a job there where Chapman has really been really good as well. So I think the Red Sox are definitely a playoff team, or certainly in the mix of playoffs. I think the biggest problem is they're in a division with really two good teams. So that's a thing. But I definitely think they're absolutely in the fight. Mets, I want to like the Mets more than I do. I mean, with all the money, obviously, that the Mets have spent, we're getting a typical Soto year where he was fantastic in the second half and not so great in the first half. that's kind of how I feel. Like it's not a thing to say that he's not in MVP contention here at all. He's 261, 38 home runs, 94 RBIs as well. He's been outstanding. I think Lindor, etc. The offense is clearly there. I think the pitching has been solid as well. So I don't see it all the time. I think the Mets kind of and the Cubs are in the same category. I kind of wonder why I don't see a really dominant team more often with that. So that's kind of my concern with them as well. Mariners, I think, are kind of fading a bit, and this is kind of what they do too. Like they have a good first half, they're good, and now like the Astros are ahead of them as well. Certainly, you got a guy on your team that possibly might be the MVP of the league in Cal Raleigh. You got Julio Rodriguez as well. Finally now kind of breaking through as well. You will get Suarez, who's also having a tremendous year as far as that. So offensively now, I think they've kind of established themselves, but now their pitching isn't as good as it was. So that's why as well. So they fixed one problem, but I don't think they're as good. I definitely think if they can get their pitching kind of back a little bit, they can absolutely start getting squared away. Cardinals, Reds, Rays, Rangers, Royals, Giants. Cardinals are kind of in the middle. I don't have a whole lot on the Cardinals. I kind of think they kind of are what they are all season long. Bar Contreras has kind of been battled around. They kind of this is kind of typical Cardinals when they're bad. This is kind of the version of the Cardinals that's not great, like 72, 74 wins. Reds, yeah, man. The De La Cruz is phenomenal, we know, but they really haven't developed everything else, so I'm not as confident in the rest of that group. The Rays, I think, are typical Rays. They kind of like the record actually isn't so bad. It's just, again, they're fourth in the division. So I don't know. They'd have to make a run. I think I have some faith in it, but as well, Rangers are kind of still in the fight in the West, but I think they're the worst team. I think they've been very inconsistent as well. Too many guys on the shelf often. I think the DeGrom renaissance, though, is good. I think DeGrom is trying to come back around for them. It is good. Royals, Bobby Witt is their best, I think, one of the best players. I mean, certainly, had it not been for Judge and Kyle Raleigh, you're putting him in MVP conversation as well. And the Giants, this is kind of where they live too. Like they're kind of in the middle. They got off to a good start, and then now they've really fallen back as well. I do think they do have a building block around them going forward, which they haven't had with Devers. And Devers has been good, but I don't think it's enough there. This category: Orioles, Diamondbacks, Guardians, Braves, Marlins, Angels. Orioles and Braves are pretty much kind of the same thing. They have young players that just haven't played as well as they had hoped in both cases. I think the Orioles have had a lot of injuries that have cost them, obviously, all year long. That's kind of put them there. They've kind of turned it around lately, but they've been better. Kind of the Braves, same. They haven't been quite as good. They have some young players, but the young nucleus hasn't developed as they'd hoped. Like Albies has struggled. Queen's been in and out of the lineup. Michael Harris hasn't really done what they'd hoped, etc. Pitching, yeah. So this is kind of where they are. Going forward, I don't know, but I'm not sure about that. Diamondbacks, Guardians, both. I think the Diamondbacks got done in by injuries. I think they'll be fine going forward, just not this year. I don't think Guardians offense is kind of okay-ish, but their bullpen hasn't been as strong as they had hoped. They really needed that because the starters aren't great. So I think that's kind of cost them as well. Marlins have been better than I think people have thought. I think Cal Stowers has been fantastic as well. Not enough horses yet. Kind of the same with the Angels. Better than they thought. I think you're seeing some flickers there, but not quite yet as well. teams not good. Twins, Pirates, A's, White Sox, Rays, Nationals. Biggest concern out of this group is the Nationals. Some of these guys aren't. Dylan Cruz is still kind of struggling. In certain case, their young guys haven't turned it around here to the point where they should be a little bit further along, or at least getting there on offense. Really not true. Twins have some issues. Again, they're never healthy. They always have some issues. Pirates, White Sox, I don't think I have a lot there. They're just not very good. Rockies are horrible. A's, in that situation, this is disgrace. I will shout out the A's a little bit, kind of fighting through all of those issues that they've had. They shouldn't be in Sacramento. I think I've said that several times. That's just ridiculous that they got them in a minor league stadium in Sacramento. Just doesn't make sense. There you go. MLB Tiers. And so next week, we're going to go over the contending teams. So we're going to do that. We're going to deeper dive. We're going to put more time into the teams that not the teams that are out of the playoffs, but some of those top tier teams. We're going to go over strengths and weaknesses of those teams as well. MLB awards are coming up. What we think about that, as well as we get towards the playoffs that our Baltimore Orioles won't be in. It's not funny, man. It sucks, man. All it's raising the ticket prices as well. I will shout out this. I did mention this on Twitter. The Section 333.6 guys. I think I'm saying it right. Section 336. Josh Strucker, I did go ahead and repost that. Very passionate, I thought, about the raising of the ticket prices for the Orioles. He's not going to be renewing the seats. That's unfortunate. I'm saying this. I'm not saying that is my favorite Orioles podcast as well, but that's not a good look for the Orioles. Those guys are loyal. Those guys are very loyal. Those guys podcast. Those guys podcast the Orioles for 10 plus years, and they do it. They're at Christmas time podcasting about the Orioles all the time. I've seen them. They never miss a week or whatever. They actually go to games. So that's not good, guys. That's not good. Do better as well as that. And when you do that, that's exactly what happened. He goes on Twitter and all that. And so not a good look for the Orioles. All right. Possibly the best game of 2025. Yamamoto pitched innings in 2/3. Holiday broke it up in the ninth with a home run, and that thing was barely a home run as well. But it got over the fence. It counted. Emmanuel Rivera got to walk off on the night. That was the night of 2030, even though it was the weekend they're celebrating 21-31 that night. I don't think there was a better game I saw all season. That was a quiet no-hitter, too, that Yamamoto had. Like, I didn't even realize until we were in the eighth inning. He's got a no-no still. So I think it was really, really good. Really talented stuff. Yamamoto, Holiday, certainly up to the challenge. Orioles up to the challenge. Dodgers taking advantage of that Dodger bullpen. I thought it was fantastic stuff as well in that game. One of the better games of the year. Orioles playing well here at the end. So, yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and just put some respect on it here at the end as well. So, a lot of things promising. And we won tonight. Looks like 2-1 over the Pirates. That's 9 out of 11 here as well. Tyler O'Neill sent to Chesapeake. He still hasn't made it to the major league roster as well. Then after that, sent to Norfolk, right? So he go up the ladder. This is probably the last week for them as well. So he's on rehab assignment. They'll probably take the place. I know who's going to take the place of it. It could be Vasquez or whatever. But certainly they're rehabbing him for him to play again this year. Certainly at least they want to get him back healthy before the season ends. So I did say 8 out of 10 when I did the graphic, 9 out of 11. Sammy Bassaro was the hero last night in the 11th inning. He was fantastic. He's getting it done when it matters. Batting average hasn't been great, but he was the one on the game. We just talked about the game Saturday. That was fantastic. Friday night, he was the guy, the walk-off home run. He got the walk-off last night. So love to see him. good things coming from Sam Basayo, the new $67 million guy. Dean Kramer left his last start season for his first MRI, came back clean in starter's right forearm, made an exit from Friday's other game due to forearm soreness. May miss a start. He hasn't been IL yet, so sometimes with the pitcher they'll wait until he actually makes his next start, so we will see. But it didn't seem like the worst. So that's always good. Dean Kramer's been one of the workhorses, one of the few guys that hasn't been on IL. Foot comfort described by Tomi Sagano came out of the game in the fourth inning. He was struck in the foot by a comeback on the mound. I think he almost did it on purpose. He lifted his foot up to knock the ball down so it would hit his foot and it couldn't go skirting throughout into the outfield. So that's exactly what happened, too. I think it was more precautionary with him because you don't know what exactly what's going on when you have an injury like that, especially with a pitcher. You don't want to have him keep pitching and make sure. So I think that it was the reason for that as well. Outfielders Enrique Bradfield, Thomas Sosa, Ethan Anderson, Carn Dorsey, Andy Fabian, Zach Fruit, Tanner Smith, all headed to the Arizona Fall League as well. So we will go ahead and get that squared away as well. Who's hot this week? You can put Trevor Rogers on there every week, and we did. Jackson Holiday, I thought, was really good. Jackson Holiday slipping a little in the weeks before. I thought he's coming around, definitely chasing that most valuable Oriole. I think it's between him and Gunnar Henderson. Bradish looked good. Bradish has looked good in his start. I think that's all the Orioles want. I don't think they care anything about the win-loss record or anything like that. That Bradish looks good in his start. Hauser again struggling. Mountie again struggling. And this is kind of what we've seen with Mountcastle. I have him in that category. Now I have you in this category. Now you're having to not consistent. Povich, I think it's been a minute since he has really been good. Also to White Sox as well. Going to play the White Sox. I think the White Sox have been the worst team in baseball over the last 2 years. Not good at all. It really feels like, I never thought a team like in Chicago third largest market might move, but certainly I think it's on the table the way they looked. And certainly you're going to Toronto, which might be the best team in the American League East. I think and you're going to see Anthony Santander on the bench. I don't think he's done much for him this year. Kevin Gausman as well. Blue Jays have really stepped up this year and take care of business. Basayo, the player of the week, not a great average, but when you hit 2 walk-offs, you get it. Thank you. Go Ravens. Enjoy the rest of your day.